Hello and welcome to Wheels Boy. For today's video, we are going to be giving you a review of this, the Ora Cat GT. Now, we've already done a full review of the standard cat, or good cat as it's known here in the Chinese market. So normally we wouldn't do a review of this car, even though it's got some small upgrades compared to the standard cat. However, this exact model will be sold in the European market starting soon, so we thought we would give you a sneak peek at what to expect. So as we talk about the exterior styling of this car, keep in mind that we've already done a full review of the standard cat, so I suggest you check that out for more in-depth analysis. In this case, we're just going to point out some of the obvious differences between this and the standard cat. The first and most obvious, perhaps, is all the carbon fiber looking plastic bits that you have here. This appears to be a functional air intake here for the brakes, as well as a carbon fiber front spoiler, and lots of touches of red all over the car, as well as some touches of red coloring and, of course, the GT logo. Here you can see, as well as this racing stripe, so to speak. This is an optional thing. It's not on every car so far as we can tell. A cheetah in place of your regular cat. This is kind of the more sporty version of the cat, or the good cat as it's known here in China. I actually am very sad they did not keep the good cat name and change it just to cat for the foreign markets. But anyways, we continue with all the carbon fiber looking plastic, at least here, with this stuff that goes around here over the wheel arches and then down here on the rocker panels. The wheels themselves are a very different design, a completely different design than what you find on the standard cat. Regular good cat has a more kind of retro style wheel, whereas this one has a much more modern look, including a very interesting touch of color here. This is something we've seen on other Chinese cars like Lincoln Company vehicles, or Lincoln Connected, sorry. But it's the first time we've seen it on a good cat. Overall, I would say I'm probably a better fan or a bigger fan of the standard cat because it has a more consistent retro look. This car's shape is a bit retro, but with all these more modern styling cues, I think it kind of throws off the language a little bit. So I personally would prefer the look of the standard cat because I think it's more cohesive. This kind of puts together the retro look of the cat with more modern styling touches, and I'm not sure that it works perfectly, though it is still a pretty cute car. Here we have a more pronounced rear spoiler with the GT logo, Good Cat GT or Cat GT, as well as, interestingly, some different aerodynamics here. This is not present on the standard cat. And then finally, back here on the rear end of the vehicle, we have a much more pronounced diffuser with more of these red elements.
Just by changing the color, I think they've made the interior of the Cat GT a bit less retro than the standard cat. Also new are the GT logos on the headrests. Just as important is what it keeps from the standard cat, including very respectable material quality, as well as a variety of features like a 360-degree camera, heated seats, and easily one of the best driver assistance systems available for a car at this price point. Seriously, I've driven cars that cost twice as much and don't have a system this good. The Cat and Cat GT are available with two different battery packs, a 48 kilowatt hour and a 63 kilowatt hour. Those will offer a maximum of 336 and 420 kilometers of WLTP range, respectively. The electrical system will support 80 kilowatt fast charging, so the 63 kilowatt hour battery can go from 20 to 80% in 50 minutes.
In addition to the exterior modifications that we mentioned earlier, this car has also gone up in power from 101 kilowatts to 136 kilowatts, or about 140 to 170 horsepower. Torque is also up from 210 to 250 newton meters, or about 155 to 185 pound-feet. The result is a 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time of around 6.9 seconds. And I can tell you from driving it, it is significantly faster than the standard or first cat that we drove on the channel. I should also mention that this is the only powertrain that will be available in the European market. The lower power one, the original 101 kilowatt hour powertrain, will simply not be available. So that's the good news. The bad news is that underneath of that, the suspension, there's really no difference between this and the standard Cat. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed by that. I've always advocated for more sporty electric cars, especially affordable electric cars, and I'm afraid that while this one is quicker than the standard one, there is simply nothing different underneath in terms of the chassis. Having said that, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. The good Cat, or the Cat, sorry, when we drove it, we described it as having a very compliant suspension, actually quite well tuned. So while it's not exactly a hot hatch, I would say it's a very comfortable commuter car.
The Cat GT costs around $21,000 here in the Chinese market. Detailed prices for the European market have not been released, but we do know that the Cat line will start around £25,000 when it debuts in the UK.
According to Ora, the Cat and Cat GT will be available in the European market in the first half of 2022. Honestly, I wish it was still called the Good Cat instead of just the Cat, but I'm also happy that European buyers finally get to experience what China is doing in terms of EVs. That's all for today's video. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, links in the description, and as always, like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
Thank you for watching. See you again soon.